Welcome to the Google Classroom Advanced Techniques for Educators training. In this training, we will walk through how to keep your stream organized by disabling student posts, keeping your classwork organized, how to create different assignments, view classroom analytics for efficient decision making, and so much more. Let's begin by navigating to our Google Classroom from classroom.google.com. As we've learned in our Google Classroom 101 training, our stream in our Google Class is where we will see our assignments, announcements posted, and resources. This is also where students will access the Google Meet if there is an active Google Meet for their class. Always remember, if you do not need to use a Google Meet, you can select the three dots, Manage, and have it either visible or not visible to students. If we do not need to use the Google Meet, we will select that it's not visible to students. You can also reset it, copy it, or go ahead and remove it. We are not going to have an active Google Meet at this time, so I'm going to remove the link so that students no longer have access to it in the class. Now, if I want to use Google Meet in my class, I will need to generate a new link. It's important that we keep our stream organized, as this is where students will come for questions, comments, and additional resources. This is also where I like to share maybe videos, different documents, or just, hey, heads up, there's assignment due soon. Students may use the stream to ask questions about assignment or topics or lessons from the class that they have questions on. There's also a chance that they will begin to use the stream as a social media or social networking platform. What will happen is that the students may begin to comment to each other back and forth, bogging down some of the actual communication that is necessary to be seen. To allow the students to still be able to ask questions on assignments, but to stop the individual posts that can lead to conversations like, I'm so bored, and did you all do the homework? We can disable posts for students and allow them to comment only. Teachers can also delete the comment by selecting the three dots and hitting delete. We can also mute students if needed. We'll delete this comment. Yes, do we want to delete it? If we decide that we want to mute a student, we can see here that muting a student, they can still submit work, they cannot reply to the classmates, and they cannot comment or post if you decide to mute that student. As you can see, this little red speaker with a slash through it means that the student is muted. The only way to unmute a student is to head back to People, select the three dots, unmute student. This will let you know that you are unmuting the student and that they can now reply to classmates, comment, and post. To help with the clutter, I like to remove the ability for students to be able to make posts and comment only. To do that, we will head to the settings, scroll down under General. In Stream, right now we have it set for students can post and comment. If you want only your teachers to be able to make posts and comment and not allow students to comment on any announcements or assignments, select the bottom Only Teachers Can Post or Comment. I want my students to still be able to comment, but not make posts like I do or announcements. So they can comment on assignments, they can comment on announcements, but they cannot make their own posts. Also, if this gets out of hand, again, you can always mute that student until they are ready to be unmuted. Once we make that change, hit save. And now students can no longer announce something to the class, they can only comment. Now that we've gone through how to disable comments and keep our stream organized in Google Classroom, let's revisit how we can keep our classwork section organized. There are multiple ways to keep your classwork organized. In this class, I have my topics and my assignments organized by subject. So we have biology, English, geology, and now I need to make a math topic. So here we're going to hit create, topic, and math. You can move an assignment to a topic in a couple different ways. You can grab the assignment and drag it down and drop it, or you can click on the three dots, edit next to assignment, And then where topic is, you can select the topic. You can create a new topic here, no topic, or select the one you need. Save. You can also drag and drop these topics so that they are organized how you wish in the coursework. I want my morning questions that my students are going to do every day up at the top. And when you create a new assignment, you can easily select a new topic. I'm going to select this practice set. We're going to attach it. And since this is over nouns, this is going to go under English and then assign. When you post or create an assignment, you may often forget something important like a due date. To adjust that, instead of deleting the assignment, hit the three dots, edit, go back, select the due date that you need. Close submission after due date, and hit save. Some of my other classes are organized a bit different. This class, I have my coursework assigned by assignment type. I have my resources at the bottom, the homework that the students will have throughout the term, the tests, and their video assignments. As I add different types of assignments, such as group projects or papers that are due, I would just create a new topic. Since the coursework is organized by assignment type, I want to have my resources at the top so that my students can always find the resources that will help them with their homework or maybe a test. And lastly, I have this class organized by week. I'll have my resources, maybe homework or different assignments that we did from week 1, 2, and then tests. This assignment was from week 2. After I grab it, I'm going to slide it down to week 2 so the students can go back and check their assignments from the different weeks. Whenever you want to create new assignments, questions, or materials, you'll need to navigate to your Classwork tab. In this tab, you can create assignments and view all current and past assignments. Now let's walk through creating an assignment. To create a new assignment, click on the Create button, then select Assignment. You can also select Question if you'd like to ask a single question to your students, or material if you simply want to post a reading, visual, or other material. After hitting Create an assignment, you will come to the assignment form. We will first need to add a title. For this assignment, I want my students to label the parts of a cell. And I'm now going to upload my assignment. In my drive, I have all of my assignments and templates. I'm going to select this one and hit Add. This is a Google Doc that my students will use to label the parts of a cell. If you'd like to view a video on how I created this assignment, you can find the Introduction to Google Docs and other Google support videos on our Digital Learning channel by going to JSPS Quick Links, Digital Learning channel. Let's continue to work on this assignment. The title is Parts of a Cell, and what I want them to do is to label each part of the cell. When attaching these types of files, such as Google Docs or Google Slides, you'll want to make sure to choose which correct setting for how your students will interact with it. After attaching one of the items, just as we have done now, you'll see this drop-down menu with 3 options. Let's take a look at when you might want to use each of these. Students can view the file. Use this option if the file is simply something you want the students to be able to view but not make changes to. Students can edit a file. This option might be helpful if you're providing a document and you want the students to collaborate together. This means all students will have access to type or edit the file together at the same time. To make a copy for each student, you're creating a worksheet or a document that you want each student to complete individually. This option will create a separate copy of the exact same document for every student. Because I want each student to label the parts of the cell individually, I'm going to select Make a Copy. Now on the right-hand side, we will select which classes we would like this assignment posted in. You can post the same assignment across multiple classes at once. If you need to post an assignment for certain students, you can only post it in one classroom at a time. And then you will select your students. This comes in handy when you're trying to create an extra credit activity. Maybe you have a couple students that need the extra credit, so you can assign the assignment directly to them or all students. I'm going to give my students a week to complete the assignment. You'll select the date and the time. If you would like to export this assignment and grade to Infinite Campus, you will need to ensure that there is a due date. If you do not want the students to be able to complete the assignment after the due date, select this check here to close the submission. You can use topics to sort and group assignments and material. To create a topic, click on Create Topic. Then we will just enter the name of our new topic. Topics can be helpful in organizing your content into various units you teach throughout the year. You can also use it to separate your content by type, splitting it into homework, classwork, readings, and other areas. As we scroll down, we're going to select how we want this to be graded. Here's where we can add our grading period. I will now enter the grading period for our term 3. You can call it whatever you need to. You can either type in the date or you can go and select the date yourself. This is also where you can adjust the grading scale if needed. Once you've made your adjustments, hit save. Now where it says no grading period, I'm going to select my term 3 grading period. And this is a graded assignment, so it will be out of 100 points. Once you have set your grading period and your grading points for one assignment, you can use those on every assignment. Once you've completed the assignment form, you can click Assign. Your students will receive an email notification letting them know about the assignment. If you do not want to post the assignment just yet, you can schedule it for a later date or again, hit Assign. I'm going to show you how to quickly handle missing assignments in Google Classroom. This is a super helpful tool to keep your gradebook organized. Let's head over to Google Classroom and open up one of our classes. Notice how some students have grades, but others have the title Missing. This is where we're going to focus today. If this is your first time using this feature, you may get a pop-up asking you to put in the percentage for any missing assignments. If not, we'll head over to Settings. In your settings, you're going to scroll down to your grading scale. And then we'll see our draft grade for missing assignments. This is for students who has not turned in their submission by the due date, or if you have marked it missing manually. So for us in this class, anyone that has a missing assignment will automatically get a 0%. If you do not want to use this feature, simply toggle this to disable it and then enable it to have it blue. You can adjust this number to a different percentage as well. Maybe you want to give every student a 20% or keep it as a 0. So we'll keep it 0 and then hit save. For this assignment, our students that have not turned it in have a 0 or a U. So now all we have to do is return. You can even do a return all. Return all. This means that the assignment is missing for all of these students, so we can return them at once instead of individually. By hitting return, they're listed as missing with a 0%, and the students will get that feedback. Return all. This student completed the assignment, these 3 did not, and return. As you see, this is not a graded assignment, so the student simply got check marks. If the student does turn the assignment in late to you and you want to adjust the grade, you can change that by simply clicking on the box and selecting the grade that you wish for them to have. And we can see that it was missing, but there's now a grade, and we will need to return again. We can see that the grade was updated now to a B. This is a good way to let the student know that they did receive a grade, but originally it was missing. Keep in mind that excused and missing are different. Excused does not impact their grade, whereas a missing assignment will impact their grade and their overall average. Using the missing grade feature helps you keep track of who hasn't completed assignment and keeps your gradebook accurate. The students are also able to see what assignments are missing on their side when they log into Google Classroom as well. So we're going to walk through how to create an assignment with Read Along. Once you're in your Google Classroom, select Create, Assignment, and then you'll see Read Along. Once you click on Read Along, the program will open. Read Along is a free reading app designed to help improve children's reading skills. The application uses Google's text-to-speech and speech recognition technology to provide real-time feedback as the children read the stories. On the left-hand side, you can select different criteria for your assignment. You can select grade 4 and then see our options here. We're going to select this story. Once it loads, you'll see the option up at the top to try as a student to see what the student's view would look like, or you can attach. Once we attach, we will see it loaded in our assignment. It automatically creates a title. We can add additional instructions, and the read-along assignment will be listed here. Don't forget to input the information on due date, the grading criteria over on the right side. You can also post this in multiple classes at once if you'd like. You can schedule this or go ahead and assign. We're going to assign this assignment now, and we will now see that it is under our classwork and assigned to our students. We can now head back to our assignment and see how our students did. After clicking on the read-along assignment, we can see that has been assigned to 2 students and 2 students have turned it in. Let's review their work now. We can now take a look at how our students did. We can see out of the 4 students, 2 of them have not started. We can also see the words that they may need practice with. As you scroll down, you can see how well they comprehended the assignment and how they did on the questions below. You can see that this student here has not finished the assignment, and this student is 85% done. Once the students have completed their reading assignment, you're able to return and provide a grade. Students can access readalong.google.com at any point in time without being assigned an assignment in Google Classroom. They can work on their reading and play lots of fun games. Google has just released a new feature in Google Classroom that enables teachers to create groups of students to make assigning assignments easier. This allows teachers to assign the same class different assignments. The teachers can quickly assign classwork in predefined sets of students without having to select individual students. For example, teachers can create groups based on reading levels as their class adapts, and they can edit the groups as the class continues. Let's go over how this is done. Select the People tab. You will now see the ability to switch from students and groups. To create a group, you will scroll down to Create Group. The prompt will show you all of your students in the class. You can name the group whatever you'd like to name it. You can name your groups things like Reading Group A or Project Math Team, whatever best suits you and your classroom. It's important to know that students cannot see what groups they are assigned to. They will not see these groups in the classroom. Only the teachers will. If you have co-teachers in your Google Classroom, they will also see these groups. I've divided my class up into working on a math project together. So we're going to have Math Project A. And then I'm going to select the students that are in Group A. I'm going to create another group. And hit Create Group again. If you forget which students are in which group, you can hit the drop-down arrow and see those students. You can also edit your group at any point in time. And your students can be in multiple groups. So that is my math group. I'm now going to create another group. Small group twos and thurs. So this will let me know which students I'll be working in a small group with on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I work with these 3. So you can have students in multiple groups. If you make a mistake and you want to edit the group, just hit the 3 dots and edit group. And then hit save, and you've made that adjustment. You can always toggle back to students to see all students. Now let's take a look on how we can use this to create assignments. So we're going to hit create. We're going to make an assignment. You can also do this with quizzes as well. We're going to select one of our read-along assignments for the 6th grade. We're going to go over this one. I'm going to hit attach. And then we can see here on the right-hand side, I can assign to all students or by my group. So I'm going to head over to my groups. I'm going to select this assignment for my small group and then hit done. If you realize when creating an assignment that you need a new group, you can hit create group right here. And then we're going to hit done. So we can now see that this assignment has been assigned to 2 students that are in one group. I'm going to select my due date, close submission after the due date, and assign. Keep in mind, you can also schedule assignments. So if you want to schedule assignments ahead of time for your different groups, you can do so. We'll hit schedule, and then if we scroll down, this is scheduled for Monday. You can see that this is scheduled for 2 students in this group. If you want to ask your students one question, but you do not want it to be a test or an assignment, you can create a question. After selecting create and then question, you can enter your question here and then select if you want it to be a multiple choice question or a short answer question. I want to ask my students who is their favorite character in the story and why did they choose them? Because there are many different answers and options, I'm going to choose short answer instead of multiple choice. Just as with assignment, you can post this in many different classes, or you can select all students or just a few students. Due date, again, the time is optional, the date is necessary. This time, I'm going to leave this open so they can answer after the due date. The topic will be English. Instead of 100 points this time, I'm not going to choose a grade. By unchecking the box here that students can reply to each other, the students will no longer be able to see each other's responses. This keeps the answers private between the teacher and the students only. If you want the students to be able to have a discussion and see each other's answers, you must select this box. I want the answers to be private and only between me and my students, so I'm going to uncheck it. You can schedule or go ahead and hit ask. Now, under our English topic, we will see the question we just asked. Let's quickly run through the student's view. We can now see as a student that my teacher has posted some new questions. One here and one here. Once I click on it, I'm going to view the question. I'm going to see it's assigned. I can add a class comment that other students will see, but we cannot see each other's answers. Or I can just comment privately to my teacher. Once the student enters their answer, they'll hit turn in, and they will again see only their answer that was turned in. Now let's walk through creating a quiz in our Google Classroom. Under Classwork and Create, you can also create a quiz. When you select to create a quiz, a Google form will automatically be added to the assignment form section. You can also select grade importing. What this means is as your students complete and submit the form, their quiz will be automatically graded and their grades will be automatically imported into Google Classroom. Now we're going to work through creating questions and answers for my quiz. You can also change your header and the colors of your quiz. You can upload your own image as well. First, I would give your quiz a title. You may also want to change that up at the top. And then, of course, you want to give the students some sort of instruction or direction. As we move on to create questions in the quiz, you will notice over on the right-hand side an option. You can add a question, you can import a question, you can add images, videos, and create a whole nother section. It's important to know that in Google Forms, you'll want to click to settings and ensure that Make This a Quiz is enabled. This will also show when the grades are released and if you want to enable or disable locked mode. Here we can also select to show the students which questions they missed and which ones are correct and the point value for each one. This quiz will be worth 100 points. I will have 10 questions on the quiz. Therefore, each question will default to 10 points. You can adjust this if I want it to be a 20 question quiz. Out of 100 points, each question will be worth 5. If you want the students to be able to complete the quiz multiple times, this is also where you will select to allow response editing, which means if a student has selected the incorrect answer, you can allow them to adjust or fix that answer. If you want them to only have one response, you will select this here. I want my students to only be able to submit this form/quiz once. I will keep this enabled and scroll down to ensure we have shuffle question order enabled. The form will automatically collect the email addresses as all students must sign into Google, and all questions are required as default, which means every student must answer every question before hitting submit. Now let's head over to our responses. Hit the three dots, get an email for every new response. If you do not want to get an email for every new response, you can hit the three dots and ensure that this check is gone. If there is a check next to it, you will receive an email every time a form is submitted. For this quiz, I will create some of my own questions and import them from previous quizzes. If you would like to learn more about Google Forms, please head to jcps.me/TLC. Scroll down to our Google for Education, Intro to Google Workspace, and view our Introduction to Google Forms. Now let's import some questions. I already have my previous Google Forms up and ready. Now here on our side panel, we're going to select Import Question. We're going to see our most recent Google Forms. I'm going to start with my All About Nouns, and then we will select either all questions or which questions I'd like. I'm going to select the first one. I'm going to select 6 questions and I'm going to import each question. As you can see, I can still edit each one. I'm removing the number from each question as the questions will be shuffled in this quiz. You can also see at the end of each question, there is the answer key. Therefore, for this question, how many nouns are in the sentence? The dishes in the sink are dirty. There are 2. And here's our answer key. The answer key will show us that the correct answer is 2, so when the students select the correct answer, it will automatically be graded. You can adjust the points as well. As of right now, it's 6 points. This is where you can also see that the question is required. A noun is, and we'll see person, place, thing, or idea. And then hit done once you've selected the correct answer. We'll do this one more time. Select our past, present, and future statement quizzes. We're going to select these 4, import, and then again, remove the numbers. My birthday party will be epic. Again, future, answer key, we see that it's future. And now I'm going to make my own question. I'm going to take that question, slide it to the bottom. Be sure to select the correct answer type for the kind of data or information you're looking to see. If you want to know how comfortable a student might be with a topic or have them answer a grade from 1 to 5, you will select linear scale. You can also select file upload to add a photo. You can add drop downs. Often select this when I want to know what grade or school someone's in. That way they can scroll through drop downs instead of selecting which one they need. If there might be multiple answers, you will select checkbox, and they can select from the multiple answers. Just be sure that your answer key also has multiple answers. I've just created a true or false question. As I have typed that question, you automatically see that there's a suggestion to add true or false as the answers. We'll select our answer, hit done. And as you see, our imported questions do have a difference in point value, so we will need to change the point value. As we adjust the point value, we will see the total points change at the top. If you have a question word that does not require a point, such as what is your name, what grade you're in, you can select 0 points. Now that we've imported our question and created our quiz, I'm going to head back to my class. And as always, we can select to have this in multiple classes, all students. If you want the assignment to automatically be graded, please select a due date. I'm now going to create a new topic of tests. Just as before, our term grading period has already been added. And again, we can either create a blank quiz, or if you already have created one, you can select our term 3 quiz, lock the Chromebooks, import grading will be there, and we are going to assign. You can also schedule your quiz. I'm going to schedule my quiz for a future date. We're going to copy all settings. As I'm posting this in 3 different classes, the settings will go across the board. What day do I want this published? I want this published because it's going to be due on this day. I want it to be published in Google Classroom on the 4th, or you can select Publish Now. After we have selected our publish date, due date, topic, and grading period, we're going to select Schedule. Under the topic, we will see our scheduled test, which is our Google Form quiz. Now let's dive in to how we can manage our video activities and practice sets. All interactive video assignments and practice sets are stored in the Resources tab. You can access the Resources tab by selecting your classroom and then Resources. The new Resources tab in Classroom allows educators to more easily create, manage, and share interactive lessons, like practice sets and video activities with YouTube. You can manage your practice sets and interactive activities all in one place. Let's get started now. Google Classroom automatically adds all of my practice sets and interactive video activities into my resources. Practice sets allows teachers to create an interactive form-like assignment or quiz that can be created with existing or new content. Practice sets are automatically graded and provide insights to all teachers in the class. Educators are now able to add questions to a YouTube video and assign it to students in Classroom. As the video plays, students can answer the questions, get real-time feedback on their responses, and rewatch the video if needed. If you have an activity you no longer need, you can delete it. If you accidentally delete a practice set or a video activity, you can click on the trash and it will be listed there. By clicking on the activity again, you can restore it back to your resources. If you want to share your resources and lessons with your team, you would want to open the menu, create a shareable link, enable sharing, copy a link. After sending a link to your team, they'll want to make a copy of that practice set or video activity to go into their drive as well. The best way to share a copy link would be to share that through chat. You can send that shareable link directly in a chat message by copying and pasting that link directly into the message bubble and hit send message. Now, when anyone in your chat or anyone you send that to click on it, they'll be able to access your practice set or video activity. Once your team clicks on that link, it will open up a new tab where they will see your practice set or video activity. They will need to click make a copy for that to go into their drive. We will now see that new quiz in our drive. When the sharing link is off, your team cannot preview or make a copy of the resource. If you need to edit a resource at any point in time, you can do so by clicking on it and then selecting Edit at the top. You can now add additional questions, answers, or delete a question you do not need. And hit Done Editing. If you'd like to view videos on how to create practice sets and interactive activities with YouTube, you can view our videos on the Digital Learning channel. Google has also introduced a feature where we can reuse an announcement, assignment, or a question from a class. When you reuse a post, you can make it in the original class or in a different class. It makes copies of attachments, including rubrics, or you can add new attachments. To reuse a post, you'll select Create, Reuse. Then you will select the class that you would like to reuse the post from. I'm going to select this assignment from my science class. As you can see, the checkbox down here to create new copies of all attachments. We're going to hit Reuse, and then the assignment form will open up in my class again. So I can reuse a post from a previous class and put it in multiple classes for all students. Again, you can assign the assignment right now or schedule it for the future. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to assign it. And we'll walk through reusing a post one more time. Create, reuse, On the left-hand side, you can see if it's an assignment, announcement, or question. This symbol here means that it is just a resource. This is an assignment, and this is a question that was asked to the students. Again, assignment, resource, question. And you can select all assignments if you'd like. Reuse. After clicking on the assignment and hit reuse, you can then make your adjustments and hit assign. As you're scheduling, creating, and reusing assignments and posts, it may get difficult to keep track of what's going on and how to stay organized. Well, Google will take all of your assignments and automatically add them to your Google Calendar from the Classwork tab. If you click on the calendar up here at the top, you will get a better overall view of your timeline and your assignment due dates. We can now see my February calendar for my class. The toolbar on the left-hand side will allow me to select which classes I want to see on my calendar at this time. You can also remove the national holidays if you'd like. So we can see my first period gold class, all the assignments that are coming up or posts that are scheduled will be in purple. You can adjust the color if needed. I like to adjust the color to the color schemes in my class. For the assignment that we posted across multiple classes, you will see each different assignment and color posted on your calendar. You can click on the assignment and get more information. For this, you can see it's my question and what is the question. Here's the link to take it directly into the assignment and what class it was posted for. Again, we'll click on the event on the calendar to see what the assignment is, that it is an assignment. Again, we'll click on the event to see that it's an assignment, the title of the assignment, and what will be happening. They're going to watch a video and the class it's for. So as you schedule future assignments and questions, they will all be in your calendar. Google Calendar enables you to maintain organization by consolidating your future assignments, meetings, conferences, and events all in one convenient location. Now let's head back to our classroom. A new feature that Google has enabled is the Sharing Classwork feature. After heading to your classwork, on the top right, you should see Share Classwork. With this feature, teachers can easily share lesson plans and class materials with their colleagues. After selecting Share Classwork, there will be a link that you can share in an email or a Google chat with your colleagues. When you no longer want to share your classwork page, you will want to hit the toggle to disable the link. It's important to note that student information, such as assignment submissions, comments, and grades, will not be visible when previewing the shared class. Imported class materials will be saved in draft mode for the selected classes. To share coursework or assignments in your Google Classroom, you will select Share Coursework, ensure that the Share Coursework toggle is enabled, and then copy the link. You will then send that link in an email or chat to your colleague to open in their browser. After sending the Share Classwork link in either a chat or email, your colleague will then click on the link. A new tab will open, allowing them to either select all assignments or to pick from which assignments or materials they would like. You can also select all of one topic as well. I'm going to select geology and biology, and then export classwork. You can see here that I've selected 5 different items. As long as they are a teacher of a Google Classroom, their classes will be listed here. You'll select the class, export. After selecting View Class, another tab will open directly to our classwork, showing all of the assignments in draft mode. Please note, after the assignments are imported into the classroom, they will be saved in draft mode until posted by the teacher. This means that the due date and grading period along with the points must be selected and then either scheduled or assigned. The students will not be able to see the assignments in Google Classroom. The last topic we're going to dive into is managing our Google Classroom settings as a whole. We've already went over that you can manage individual class settings by selecting the settings gear on the top right corner. But if you want to manage settings for all of your classes, such as notification settings, we are going to manage those from the menu on the left-hand side. If you do not see that, select the three lines for main menu and then scroll down to the gear and select settings. This is where you can change or adjust your profile picture, and we're going to manage all your notifications. If you do not want to receive any emails, you'll disable that. And now you will no longer receive any email notifications regarding any Google Classroom. I would suggest keeping this enabled, but maybe making adjustments by comment type or class. The first section is comments, and then classes you're enrolled in and classes you teach. And then you can also scroll down for the individual class. If you have a class maybe you're a co-teacher on and you don't need those notifications, simply hit the toggle and you will no longer receive email notifications for that class. You can view this and other videos on Google Classroom by going to our digital learning channel by selecting JSPS Quick Links, Digital Learning Channel. In the search, type in Google, and then scroll down to our Google Support playlist. You can also find our resources at jsps.me/TLC, select Google for Education, and Google Classroom.